Lord says, Dambho darpo bhimanascha, krodhav parushyameva cha, ajnanam chapi jatasya, partha sampadamasurim. Anybody would like to volunteer to read? You may do so. You can raise your digital hand.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Pride, arrogance, conceit, anger, harshness, and ignorance, these qualities belong to those of demoniac nature, O son of Pruta. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, Krishna in the last three shlokas, as we just revised quickly, we brushed to 26 divine qualities that Lord had given. Now, Lord is touching upon demoniac qualities. So, what Krishna is doing is he's listing down, and he's listing down very, very prominent demoniac qualities. And then he starts with what? Dambha. Dambha means arrogance, pride. Then Dambha means pride, and Darpa means arrogance. He's starting out with very heavy, heavy qualities, demonic qualities. And Abhimana. So that is kind of conceit, that again, Abhimana is like, having Abhiman, pride. So it's really near. Darpa and Abhimana is like siblings. And then Chak Krodha. So Krodha means we all know anger. Parushyam evacha. Parushyam means certainly, that harshness they have. This is mine, everything is mine, that kind of harshness. And Ajnanam. That's very, very prominent in demoniac people. Ignorance. Ajnanam means ignorance. Cha abhijatasya. Abhijatasya partha sampadam asuri. So Krishna is saying that one who is born, Abhijatasya means one who is born. So he's telling Partha. Partha means Arjuna. He's telling, oh, Arjuna, you know what? Sampadam with such kind of qualities. Whoever is Sampadam means qualities. Whoever is having such Sampadam, they are said to be Asurim. They are said to be of demoniac nature. Like you can see this animal right now in elephant. He is full of madness and he is pushing away everybody, right? So all the demoniac people, so Krishna has mentioned both now so far divine as well as demoniac qualities. So what should we do is see these qualities. We should try and contemplate, we should try and introspect, to see what qualities Krishna is mentioning and what do we possess. We also have in Kali Yuga, we have both, divine and demoniac nature within our mind. So both are there. So we need to say which one is very heavy in us. So the demoniac qualities that are, they are hypocrites, completely hypocrites. So hypocrite means what? Externally, they are making, a good show. I'm very good, I'm very virtuous, I do this, I do that, just to impress everyone, Internally, what are they? Same traits, demoniac traits they will be having. So what is it called? It's actually called Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. In English, we say Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde personality. Dr. Jekyll was different during the day, and he was like Mr. Hyde during the night time. So that's you can Google it about Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde personality, which means impure internally, but trying to show outside, that I'm very pure, that kind. So what is their behavior? Lord Krishna is telling, that demoniac natured people, they're very, very arrogant, dambha, very, very arrogant and very, very disrespectful to everyone other than themselves. So our checklist starts, are we like this? We have to start thinking. So they are very proud. Lord Krishna says they are very proud and they're very conceited, and they think, all their bodily positions and their position and their positions and position means whatever they're having at home or wherever they have things like that they possess, and their position, the status in the society, that kind of things. They're very, very conscious about it, their designation. What position do I have in, or am I better than the other one? Like what kind of, how much wealth do I have, how much wealth my neighbor has and my friend has. They will have lots and lots of lust, and they will have a lot of greed, and they are always, they don't have any control over their mind. And they're very, very conscious about everything, like their position, their designation, their status, their beauty, what kind of education they've had. Oh, your son studied in hmm, here in Indian engineering. Okay, okay. I sent him to America, to that Carnegie Mellon, and then Stanford. He went later. So yeah, yeah. Oh, okay, okay. So they will just show off so much. Very, very cruel. And when they're anger, they have, they get very angry if their desires are not fulfilled. That lust and desire that they have, full of lust and desire. And if it's not fulfilled, what happens? Completely they are, you know, in anger that way. So yeah, and then they are very cruel, they are very harsh, not at all sensitive. Usually we are very sensitive, right? But they're not at all sensitive to anyone. And uh, whatever they are doing, they're not doing the right thing. Everything is wrong. And in this Iron Age, Kali Yuga, we can see in abundance all these people. Like Kamsa, he was an asura. Hiranyakashipu, he was an asura, right? And so even of whoever has having like university education, the titles they may be having, they can be out and out asura. You never know, right? If you have those evil tendencies, you are having that ashubha vasanas, you are asura. So it's not that if you are educated, oh, you are divine. No. What vasanas we have, what ashubha vasanas we have, what evil tendencies we have, we need to see. So this is the age of Kali, age of darkness. So naturally, what is going to happen? We will definitely have a lot of darkness within us. So what are we supposed to do? We have to make sure that, we clean, we look into our hearts, we chant very sincerely, we chant very seriously, we follow all the Bhagavad Gita, and we need to invite Krishna into our hearts somehow or the other, right? So, because see, why we are reading Bhagavad Gita, it is our life manual, as we know already. So, what we should do, we should be trying to associate with people who have those divine qualities, not demonic qualities, and then eat prasadam, offer bhoga, and then eat prasadam, do devotional service, render service to the Lord. And then when we are doing all these different kinds of things, then what is going to happen without our notice? You know, these this nice bluish blackish boy, he will do the needful. So who is that bluish blackish boy? Our beloved Krishna. He will somehow, you will see that he's coming, he will come with his peacock feather and his flute and everything, and he will clean our hearts. He will wipe it very nicely, Cheto Darpana Marjanam, very nicely, and he will fill that with complete love and devotion, right? And then he will hold our hand, take us back home, back to Godhead. So after we all need that, right? We are all wishing them. So again, Lord Krishna, after giving these demoniac qualities, now there is a problem. Now Arjuna is hearing all this, right? He is hearing, oh, you are stating all the demoniac problems and all these qualities and all that. And then before that, he heard 26 divine qualities. Now he is hearing demoniac qualities. So he might be wondering, oh, I am in a war and I am killing all these people right in front of me. So will that mean that I'm also kind of possessing these demoniac qualities if I'm killing people over here? So now, just to make Arjuna understand that he is not a demon, what Lord Krishna is doing, he is going to speak that in the next verse. So let's see that next verse. Devi sampad vimokshaya nibandhaya surimata mashucha sampadam devim abhijatosi pandava. Yes, please. Pratima Mataji.
The transcendental qualities are conducive, to liberation, whereas the demoniac qualities make for bondage. Do not worry, O son of Pandu, for you are born with the divine qualities. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So Lord Krishna, he described the divine qualities, right, in the first three verses, and then he listed the demoniac qualities. So this got Arjuna thinking. This might have got Arjuna thinking. We are thinking like that. that, oh, I have to fight now. So, it must be because I have demoniac qualities. So I must be having it within me. So what do I do? Am I demon? Am I doing the wrong thing? Krishna is Paramatma in the heart, right? He knows everything what we are thinking. So just to pacify him, immediately he understood what Arjuna is thinking. And he's telling, oh, Arjuna, you are not a demon. Krishna says, Devi Sampat Vimokshaya. So Lord is saying, Arjuna, those Devi qualities, those Devi transcendental qualities, or Sampat means assets. Actually, Sampatti we have, right? Sampatti means assets that we have. So Lord is saying those divine sampatti that you have, that I had mentioned before, those 26, you remember, they are meant for what? They are meant for vimokshaya, moksha, or liberation. It's meant for vimoksha. Vimoksha means also liberation. And nibandhaya asurimata. So nibandhaya asurimata means, Lord, what is he saying? He's saying these asuri or demoniac qualities, they are nibandhasya. Nibandhaya means bondage. Nibandh, bandh ke rakhna, to bind. So these are all demoniac. These are all full of bondages. So Lord Krishna is saying, hey Arjun, you know what? Pandava, son of Pandu, Mahashuchaha. Even in the 18.66 also he says, Mahashuchaha, Sarva Dharman Parityajya, Mam Ekam Sharanam Raja, Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyaha, Moksha Ishyami Mahashuchaha. Mahashuchaha means don't fear, don't worry. So he's telling Arjuna, you don't worry, okay? You should not, why you should not worry? Why, oh Krishna, why should I not worry? Arjuna says, so for that Krishna is saying, Sampadam Devim Abhijatasya Asi Pandava. So Arjuna, Asi means you, Abhijatasya. Abhijatasya means born. Born of what? Devim qualities. You are born of Devim, Devi, divine qualities. Those are transcendental qualities. Don't worry. He's kind of giving confidence to Arjuna. You are in the war, but don't think you have demoniac qualities. I'm telling you, don't worry. You are, be assured. He is giving a nice assurance. So that is our dear Lord. That's our dear Lord Krishna. He is telling his devotee, oh, do not worry. You're born with divine qualities, so don't worry at all. So here Lord has made a very, very, very important statement. The divine qualities, where will it take us? Towards the path of vimokshaya, liberation. And what will happen if we move towards that path? We are going to break the cycle of birth and death. But if we possess demoniac qualities, what will happen? Will glide down to hellish planes. And before that, we will be bound in this material world, lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, and we'll never be able to break the cycle of birth and death. So if we want to go on the spiritual path and we want to be successful in that, and pursue till the end. So we are all sadhakas, right? We are all aspirants. So aspirants, we need to watch out for many, many things as such, Because why? Why do we have to watch out for many, many things? Because if even one of the demoniac qualities, like let's say arrogance, like whatever Lord described in the previous verse, or arrogance, hypocrisy, anything that remains in our personality, it can become the cause of the failure. At the same time, the divine virtues needs to be developed. These will pull us down. So we need to increase our divine qualities. That's the measurement, that's how we need to look at it. Why? Why it needs to be developed divine qualities? Because without these saintly qualities, what will happen? Our spiritual progress, again becomes crippled, So we have to be very, very careful, when we are in this path. Anytime any demonic quality comes and it can pull us down. Without fortitude, for example, we will give up our journey if we don't have determination. Oh, chodo, I cannot get up in the morning. Let's leave it. Some friend will come and say, what are you doing? Let's go out. You are just stuck in this room. And then journey becomes very difficult for us. Any distraction and gone. We are pulled down. Someone says, sleep is very important. What are you doing? You have the whole day to chant, and we come under their influence. boom, gone. The sadhana level goes down. So we need to be very determined. For example, like without forgiveness, what will mind do? Mind will be tied to hatred. We are not forgiven, right? So it will tend towards hatred, and we won't have the ability to be absorbed in God. Why? Because we'll be thinking, उसने ऐसा क्यों कहा? उसने ऐसा क्यों किया? She could have been more polite to me. Blah 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 blah. Whatever is coming into our mind, and mind will continue to talk and talk and talk, and we are doing sadhana, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare. Mind is running. So we need to bring back the mind, and that is why we need association of devotees, and we should chant together so that we look at each other and get inspired to chant properly, right? Otherwise, mind will continue to talk to us. So this will come with practice, right? Otherwise, we'll not be able to give time to our sadhana. That's why Lord Krishna is asking us to develop saintly virtues, 26 saintly virtues that he said, at least some of them, so that we can progress very, very rapidly on our spiritual path. So now, see, on removing our weaknesses, and if we develop good qualities, there is a technique, that worked for many, many people. This technique worked. What is that? That is the maintenance of, say, personal diary. Mahatma Gandhi used to maintain his diary. Benjamin Franklin used to, maintain a diary. They both mentioned, they have the technique in their when you read their autobiographies, it's written that they did maintain the diaries. So that's the technique. So what we can do as part of our effort when we're doing devotional service, we also should keep working on ourselves. And if it works for you, then maintain a diary so that we can develop all the divine qualities. Oh, today I felt like this. So you will know you had demoniac quality today. So we can maintain, like, you don't have to write so many sentences, just 5, 6, just to understand which path we are in. And Lord Krishna is mentioned in this chapter, right? And we need to get rid of whatever demoniac qualities we have. Srila Prabhupada also states, that because Arjuna was considering whether, his grandfather, his guru, Dronacharya, should be killed or not to be killed and all that, right? That goes to show that he was definitely not under the influence of demoniac qualities. Otherwise, I will even think like that. So he was definitely he was born with divine qualities, as Krishna said, right? Abhijatas Pandava. So naturally, he was having the quality of not having the qualities of divine. That's even Lord Krishna said, Ma Shuchaha. So in this way, Lord made it very, very clear to Arjuna that do not worry, Ma Shuchaha, you don't have any kind of demoniac qualities. And, just looking at the face of Arjuna, what happened? He looked as if, he was still not happy with the answer that Krishna gave. He was still having that doubt-filled face. So, see, just to make sure that Arjuna understands demoniac qualities, and at the same time, through Arjuna, we can understand what are demoniac qualities. Lord Krishna will start describing from here on more and more and more demoniac qualities. And demoniac, through this demoniac, this process, the whole process, he will explain what is their attitude, what is their thinking process, and all that. He's going to explain everything, right? From here onwards. Let's see the quick points for this one. So Lord Krishna says transcendental qualities conducive to liberation. Demoniac qualities lead to bondage. Lord Krishna encourages Arjuna that he is born of saintly qualities. So he should not be, worry about it. So on what basis Krishna considers Arjuna is born of saintly qualities? His fighting is not demoniac because Arjuna is, he's considering the pros and cons. Oh, should I kill my grandfather, my guru? They are standing. I should not be doing. So that itself shows he's thinking pros and cons, right? So he's to perform the regulative principles of different orders of life is transcendental action. Kshatriya, he's a Kshatriya, right? Shooting arrows at the enemy is considered transcendental and not demoniac, right? Let's move on. Dvau bhuta sargo lokesmin Devasura cha Devo Vistarasha Proktaha Asuram Parthame Shrono. Yes, Krishna Prasad Prabhuji, please. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. O son of Pritha, in this world there are two kinds of created beings. One is called divine and the other demoniac. I have already explained to you at length the divine qualities. Now hear from me of the demoniac. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So he spoke about divine qualities, he spoke about demoniac qualities, just gave one verse for demoniac qualities. And after that, Arjuna understood that he doesn't have demoniac qualities. Now in this shloka, Lord Krishna is speaking about two different personalities. Wow, two different personalities, divine and demoniac. And Lord is going to elaborate further on the demoniac qualities from this very verse onwards. So here Lord Krishna, he is saying, Dvau means two. Dvau bhuta sargau lokesmin. So Lord is saying there are Dvau bhuta sargau means two categories. Dvau means two. Of what? Lokesmin. In this loka, living beings. Where? In this loka, asmin. Loka asmin means in this world. So who are they? Daiva, asura, evacha. So they are devas and asuras, godly and demoniac. And then Lord says, what are they? Vistarasha proktaha. Devo Vistarasha prokta. Oh, Arjun, do you remember? I spoke, Vistara means, Vistarse means in detail. I spoke at great length about these devas, at the divine qualities. Asuram Partha Meshruno. Listen to me now, hear me out, Partha, or son of Pritha, or son of Kunti. Listen to me now, Arjuna. You just shrunu me, just listen to me, hear me out. About whom? Asuran. About the demoniac. I will tell you something. Okay, Arjuna? He says. So, all the souls that are there, they carry the nature from where? Past lives. Everything. According to those some cultivate virtuous qualities because they have performed some very good deeds, in the past lives. So they are the ones who are born with divine nature. If you have done very good thing, you will see that, you are somewhere very much associated with God, and you are having those divine qualities. You start wondering, this person is so sweet. Why do I, feel like magnet, I get drawn towards that person. That person has done something very virtuous in the past life. And while there are some people, they might have done some sin in the past, they have polluted their mind in the previous life. Sometime they must have done some cruel activity. They are carrying the same tendencies in the present life. That is how, that is what Lord is trying to explain to us, that there are varieties of nature in the living beings in this world. So there are some divine and demoniac nature, and these are two extremes of the same spectrum. There are spectrum and there are two extremes, divine and demoniac. So we can have mix of both in this yoga. So that's what it's mentioned in Vedas, that both the devatas, the demigods, and the demons, both were born of the same Prajapati. Everybody was born, right, from there. But the only difference is that one class, that is divine, the demigod, they obey the Vedic scriptures, Vedic injunctions. The other part, they don't want to accept it. So what to do? So the living beings in the heavenly abodes, they have very much divine qualities. And those who are having demoniac qualities, they go down to lower abodes. They're living over there in the lower abodes. And we humans, we have a mixture of both. Sometimes we have some divine qualities, some demoniac qualities. So we need to get rid of this demoniac qualities and take the divine qualities more, absorb more. So even the cruelest butcher, if you see, who cuts all the meat and all that, sometimes we find the quality of they're very kind. It is there in their personal life. This is professional life, but in personal life, the person who hangs people to death, who executioner, he also sometimes, if you see his personal life, so he's a very kind man, but professionally he's doing that. So even in, we find, you go to Devatas also, sometimes even Indra also, he will fall down because, he will have some defect in the virtue somewhere. Sometimes it happens. So it is said, in Satya Yuga, the gods and the demons, they lived on different planets, separate planes of existence. And then Treta Yuga came. And in Treta Yuga, what happened? They were residing on the same planet. Then Dwapar Yuga came. Then they were, they lived in the same family. Kali Yuga, they are living in the same person's heart. It is there in their mind and their heart. Both the qualities are within us only. So that is the dilemma we are facing now because everything is there, So what to do? And we need to pull ourselves upwards towards God. If we get dominated by demoniac qualities, we will be pulled down completely. So that's the practice that we need to do. That's what the shloka says over here. So having described these saintly qualities, Lord Krishna is going to, describe the lower nature, so that why is he telling us all this? So that we recognize this and we start avoiding it. So he's going to, start the elaborate description now of demoniac qualities, the kind of activities they do, the thought process that these demoniac people have, And let's see the shloka from the next section onwards. And of course, let's go to the points also. Two kinds of created beings, divine and demoniac. And then we have both demigods and demons are born of Prajapati. And what is the difference? Difference is one obeys the regulative principles in the scriptures and the other doesn't. So let's move on to 6.7 to 20. These are demoniac nature Lord is going to describe and the link between section 1 and section 2. So Lord described the demoniac nature. He will now explain in detail. Arjuna will thus see that he himself, as well as his fighting, is free from demoniac tendencies. He has to make sure he's in the war. He cannot have those demoniac tendencies, and with that tendencies, he is not supposed to, go into the war. So he needs to check. He needs to be free from all this, right? So he is going to explain. So this, actually, Arjuna is fighting in the war. This is Mahabharata war going on. He has to be free from demoniac qualities. So according to one's level of detachment, we need to have selflessness. Then he becomes eligible for liberation. So the real root of demoniac quality is what? Mentality. How do we get that? Is the inner choice of the soul that we have, here. That's the inner choice to be for Krishna or against Krishna. So, and once we get into that, are we for or are we against? Again, everything moves down to this foundational one quality, that is, we are for Krishna or against Krishna. So then if we are for Krishna, everything divine will happen, we'll slowly get into it. Because soul's inner direction will be towards Krishna, right? So the two big sections of people, they fit into this general description of demoniac, They do not see anything related to Krishna. They don't see Krishna's energy. They don't connect to him. Nothing like that happens to them. The two are like materialists, What do? They are saying this world, okay, I've come here to enjoy. What are you talking about? What is the spiritual path? You are all useless people here. Ignorant. They call us ignorant then. And they're completely disconnected with Lord Krishna. And then the second people, they are impersonalists. They say, oh, this material world does not exist only. What are you talking about? They don't have any connection with the Lord. So let's see the next one. Pravrittim cha nivrittim cha janana vidurasuraha na shaucham na pichacharaha na satyam teshu vidyate. Hare Krishna. Yes, Pratima Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Maybe around 16.7 or 16.6?
16.7.
7. Okay, sorry. We're
Yeah,
just a little behind. Okay, hang on. Translation. Those who are demoniac do not know what is to be done and what is not to be done. Neither cleanliness nor proper behavior nor truth is found in them. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So Lord Krishna is elaborately describing, he's going to describe actually the qualities activities, how they think of all the demons, demoniac people. So he's saying pravrittim cha, nivrittim cha. So janana vidurasuraha. Asuraha. So Lord Krishna is saying asura jana. Asura jana means these demonic people, Arjuna, na vidu. They do not know, Arjuna. What do they not know? They do not know. Pravrittim cha, nivrittim cha. They don't even know how to act. Pravrittim cha, how to act properly. Nivrittim cha, or what's to be done, or how not to act, improperly or whatever. So pravrittim means doing, acting properly, and nivrittim means how not to act improperly, what's not to be done. What's to be done, what's not to be done. Let's say like this. Pravrittim, what's to be done, and nivrittim, what's not to be done. They don't know. What? Na shaucham, na api acharaha. They are not clean. Shaucham means cleanliness, right? So they are not clean. They don't have that shaucham. And no achara also. Not achar, not pickle. Okay, so acharaha is behavior. So they don't have proper behavior also. Achar vichar we say in Hindi. So na satyam vidyate. Also vidyate means what? There is na satyam. Na satyam teshu. There is no truth in them. Also vidyate. Also try to understand. They don't have any satyam, Arjuna. Not at all truthful, Arjuna. So there are two things, dharma and adharma. We all know. Dharma means towards the right path. Adharma means going towards the not right path, unrighteous path, right? So dharma is like following all the codes of whatever, code of conduct that has been given, and which will help us to, kind of purify our mind, purify ourselves, inside as well as outside. Everything we will be able to purify ourselves. Adharma what will happen? Means we are doing everything that is prohibited. We just don't want to bother about the society. We'll bring down the society. We'll cause harm to everybody. Demoniac nature, they have no faith in this Vedic scriptures. They don't bother about scriptures. They are completely confused. They are all the time sitting like this with their hands, as you can see in the screen. They don't know what is right, what is wrong. And there is no such thing as, there is absolute truth. And no one can really say, he should do that, she shouldn't do that. They don't care. They are doing what they want to do. They are not following any inclination. You can see how they are partying. They think that is the best thing. They are completely, totally confused people. They don't want to, they don't like to, they don't intend to follow any scripturals. They don't like to be externally or internally clean, not at all. They don't give a second thought to even lie to anyone, to even their own kith and kin. They are into lying, they are into, cruelty, they are into harshness, they are very proud of themselves, and they think this modern day generation's view is that there is no absolute truth. All is relative how you think. You know what, it may be true for you, but it's not true for me. I can't help it. As if truth is something very, personal thing. No, absolute truth is truth. You like it or you don't like it. But they don't think it like, oh, it may be working for you, it doesn't work for me. It may be okay for you. Oh, this spiritual path may be good for you, but it's not for me. I'll go and party. Some may like this approach of thinking that it's not right. According to Krishna, it's waste of time. According to Krishna, it's absurd. According to Krishna, you are foolish. That's what Krishna says. So such an idea might be very appealing to many, many people. But if you think in a logical manner, what happens? It is not great. Sometimes, what happens? I always give this example of traffic lights. We ignore traffic lights. Even when it is red, people are crossing. They will see left and right. They don't see a police and they will cross. What will happen? What are you doing? You are not only putting your own life at risk, you are trying to, put other people's life at risk by believing that what you are doing is right. There is a code of conduct, there are rules and regulations, traffic light, red light, to stop. But no, they won't do. Vedic scriptures, they say this is the right way to do, but no, we don't want to do, right? What if it is considered right by someone to go, on a suicide mission? There are so many people going on a suicide bombing mission in a very, very highly populated civilian area amongst people, who are so innocent. And they are thinking those are enemies, and they go and they put the bomb over there. Is it good? From their point of view, they're thinking, oh, I'm doing a great job. But is it? They are not following any code of conduct. He is convinced, oh, I am doing the right thing. But does that mean, does that make it right in any sense? Any sense of the word? Do we think it is right? No, that's demoniac. All these terrorists, what are they doing? They're demoniac. They think it is right. And Lord Krishna is saying they are confused completely. Pravrittim cha nivrittim, they na janas vidurasura. They don't know what they are doing. They don't know what is right and wrong. So they are not pure. They are not satyam. They are not speaking the truth. Na shaucham, na pi achara. They don't have cleanliness. They don't have proper behavior. They no right conduct is found in them. So completely it establishes, right, the demoniac nature. Don't know what is to be done, what is not to be done. They don't follow any shastras. They are completely unclean. They don't want to follow any rules and regulations. So Krishna is highlighting these points over here, trying to tell us that that kind of behavior is very cruel. Let us not do it. They don't even think twice. They don't even, flap their eyelid even once before lying to get their work done. So there is no question of being truthful when it comes to demons. Oh, in this way, these people, they are so, so, so demoniac in nature, you know. Um, anyway, the Krishna is not going to stop over here. With full force, Krishna is going on and on and on, speaking about different demonic qualities, in the remaining shlokas as well. So in coming words, like he's describing, what such people, what kind of thought process these people have, he's going to give us, he is going to tell us. So let's see the points quickly. So they don't know what is to be done, what is not to be done. They don't follow shastras. They are unclean, and they have, improper achara is not good, improper behavior, and they na satyam. So they are completely untruthful. That's the characteristics of demoniac nature. Asatyamat pratishtham te jagadahuranishwaram aparaspara sambhutam himanyat kama haitukam. Yes, please. Pratima Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. They say that this world is unreal, with no foundation, no God in control. They say it is produced of sex, desire, and has no cause other than lust. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So we are into this section, where Lord Krishna is describing about these demoniac qualities. So he gave a gist in the last verse about how unclean they are, shaucham, there is no shaucham, inside out completely. And they don't believe in speaking the truth, na satyam teshu. So they don't even want to speak the satyam. They don't believe in that actually. Their philosophy is you can lie whenever you want to. No need to even bother, no need to have a second thought. And they don't know how to behave. That achara is also not good. So after this, Lord Krishna is speaking about the philosophy these demons have, what kind of philosophy they follow. So what is Lord Krishna is saying is, Lord Krishna says that philosophy is Ahu Jagat. They say this Jagat, Ahu Jagat means this Jagat, this cosmic universe or manifestation. It is Asatyam. This whole universe is asatyam. It's completely unreal. What are you talking about? Complete. You're talking about this real thing is real over here. They're talking. Apratishtham. It has no foundation. It has no basis for any kind of, there is no moral order. You don't have to have any moral order. You can do what you want. That's it. Anishwaram. Anishwaram means there is no Ishwar only. There is no controller only. There is nothing there is no concept as God. It's without a God. Anishwar. And it is said to be Aparaspara sambhutam. Kim anyat. Kim anyat kama hetukam. So this world, it has sambhutam, it has come out. It has arisen, it has come out of what? Kama, sambhutam. Kim anyat kama hetukam. You know why this world has come up? It has come up of sex desire. Kim anyat. Kimanyat means there is no other reason, no other cause is there, only lust, desire, this kama. Because of this whole world is there, it is existing. Let us do what we want to. Only kama haitukam. It is only due to lust and desire, aparaspara. There is no other cause than lust. We can do what we want. So two ways, how we can get away from this such kind of bad behavior or immoral thoughts, that is how to get away. One is that we should just refrain ourselves from any kind of wrong thinking through willpower. That's we have to have our own willpower and determination. The second way is how to remain away from all this is we have to not do any kind of sin. We should have that fear of God. Or maybe we don't need to, but people say they have fear of God. But there are very, very, very few people, who can walk on the right path, satyam, with their willpower. No, I will just walk the right path, come what may. Very few people you will see. Most of them, they will follow the path only out of fear of punishment. If there is no fear of punishment, they will just do what they want to do. Like, you must have noticed, like, when they write over there on the board on the road also, 40 miles an hour or 50 miles an hour, that your speed limit is there, or 80 kilometers or 60 kilometers, 40 kilometers an hour, that is written over there. How many of us even follow that completely and sincerely and seriously? No one. And it's observed, especially on highways, if you're going, the freeways are there, highways are there, you go, there is a speed limit. Nobody follows. And the moment you see on the rear view mirror, police car is there, oh my God. And the moment police car is spotted, what do we do? Immediately people bring down, quickly, they bring down the speed, and they slow it down, whatever, according to whatever speed limit it is written over there. They are so scared. That's the fear factor. Why did they do? Out of fear behavior. But when they see that there is no danger of being caught, what will they do? Again, press into the accelerator, exceed the speed limit. That's what they do. So internally, it is not coming. It's not coming that I should have that determination to do what is right. It is out of fear that we do mostly. So if we believe in God out of fear, okay, that is also fine. We will refrain from bad behavior or immoral behavior. That is also okay. But that's not the ideal thing, right? We should actually have that self-determination. And suppose we don't believe in God, then all these laws that is there, it will still be applicable. Okay, we don't have the fear, but it will still be applicable, right? We don't have fear of the police. Okay, fine. You don't have the fear of the police, but still the laws is still there. Police will still catch you, right? So we will suffer the consequences of whatever wrong thing we are doing. We are speeding up, police will catch us, even though may not be afraid of them. They will catch us, penalize us, or take us to the police station. Waste our time. That is anyway going to happen, right? So these demoniac people, though the people, though nature that they don't want to accept anything. They don't want to accept any authority. Who are you? Police, so what? I will give you money, go away. They are having that behavior, which is not at all good. They don't even have belief in God. They are jumping to conclusion, oh, there is no world, there is no God, an-ishvara, and there is nothing, no moral conduct, nothing. There is no moral order only, right? They're so Big Bang theory we already heard, right? Which claims that world just came out of nothing. There is some chemical reaction took place. Accidentally, there was some explosion. World came into being. And they also will saying that they are also saying there is no God only. Anishwar. I don't know what they are into. Completely, they are into that lust, sensual gratification, and they have no sense of right or wrong or anything, right? Sex indulgence is most intense, and these demoniac minded people, they are engaging in that, and they think that is the purpose of this life. Srila Prabhupada also says, in his purport, that they do not believe. They do not believe in the words of Lord Krishna that is saying in Bhagavad Gita, Maya Dakshena Prakriti Suyate Sach Acharachara. Hetuna Nanena Konteya Jagat Viparivartate. Saying Lord Krishna has said, under my direction, the whole material world is moving. But they will not believe. They are not even believing in that. They have no knowledge. They are completely ignorant, completely. So after speaking about all these demoniac philosophy, the way they think and all that, now Lord Krishna is going to speak about demoniac activities, what kind of things they do. So let's see the points also. So world is unreal. There is no God in control. Or it is all because of lust. And this world is produced of sex desire. That's what is demoniac philosophy. So let's move on to the next one. Etam dristimavashtabhya nashtatmanolpa buddhaya prabhavantyugra karmanaha kshayaya jagatohitaha. Yes, please. Swapnil Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Following such conclusions, the demoniac who are lost to themselves and who have no intelligence engage in unbeneficial, horrible works meant to destroy the world. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So Lord Krishna spoke about the philosophy, right? How they, what kind of philosophy they follow. Now Lord Krishna is going to speak about the activities. What do these people do? How their attitude is. What do they like to engage in? What do they like to do all the time? So Lord Krishna is saying, Etam drishtama avashtabhya. Etam drishtivya. Avashtabhya means what? They're holding, they accept this. Drishtim means view. Drishti means view, right? So they are holding this vision. They are holding this view. What kind of view they are holding, which we saw in previous shloka, the philosophy that they follow. So they are holding that. And these demonic persons, they talk about what? Nashta. Nashta Atmana. They are completely, these demonic people are Nashta Atman. Their Atmas are completely Nashta. Means their souls are completely misdirected. There is no proper direction. Completely gone. With what? Alpa Buddhaya. Lord Krishna says their souls are completely nashta, gone, depleted with alpa means down, low. Buddhya means buddhi, intelligent, very small intelligence. This is completely gone, their atma. And prabhavanti ugra karmana. Ugra means very, very high, rough, cruel. So they prabhavanti means they are engaging. So what are they engaging into? Ugra karmana. Karma means activity. Ugra means very, very cruel, very, very harsh activities. And for what are they engaging in that? Kshayaya. Kshaya means destruction, complete destruction of what? Jagataha means this world. That is ahitaha. Means it's not ahit. Ahit means, hit means beneficial. Ahit means it's not good. It's not good for anybody, but they are doing it. They think that is the best thing. So basically, these demonic people, what are they holding it? They are holding the view, whatever Lord Krishna told in the previous verse, the philosophy they are following. They are misdirected souls, Lord Krishna says. They have very, very small intellect, alpa buddhaya, and they get into this cruel actions, these terrorism that is happening, everything that is happening, it's because of small alpa buddhi that they are having. So very, very heavy shloka, it is destroying most of them in this world. So these demonic people, what kind of activities they're engaged in? They're engaged in activities which will lead to kshayaya, destruction of what? Jagataha, of this world. Lord is saying they're alpa buddhya, they don't even have intelligence, less intelligent they are. So materialists also, they have no concept of God, and they think they're advancing just like that. But according to Bhagavad Gita, that's not true. They are unintelligent, alpa buddhya, and they don't have any sense. There was nuclear invention also. It was considered to be, greatest, and so advanced this human society has gone towards, this human civilization has advanced like anything. But what has happened? It's actually making people very, very violent. It is making people cruel, insensitive, and it's also making people, not bother about any other soul. They're not even seeing other soul. Innocent people are dying because of this. So they are happening, these people, they try to show their power. We have seen in the war, right, between Russia and Ukraine war. Now Israel war is going on, and the Gaza, we have seen Gaza Strip. How many people are innocent people? Children are dying. Why? What is happening? It's causing huge destruction. Kshayaya jagata hitaya. So very, very cruel to even animals and cruel to other human beings. Nothing, they don't have any idea how to behave. Hitler, we have seen Hitler, how he had demoniac sensibility, right? He sent so many thousands and thousands of people into gallows. He killed them completely. He created so much of suffering, so much of misery, you know so much of destruction, so much of devastation. The whole world was shocked, completely shocked of what he had done. And then two atomic bombs were thrown on Hiroshima, Nagasaki. We all know about that, right? These bombings, my God, so many people were killed. Maybe 1 lakh, 2 lakh, between, 2, 3 lakh people were killed completely. And, most of them were innocent people. Most of them were citizens. Just think when, if we were in their place, what? What did they do? Just to create, just to show the power that we are superpower. Just to show that. Is it right? Srila Prabhupada states, in his purport that, this, invention of whatever nuclear weapons has happened, they feel very proud about it. But actually, at any time, whenever the war takes place, what happens? This is going to create a lot of destruction. So it's not, it has been created for destruction. So that is what Lord Krishna is telling over here. Due to, there is no godless, it's godlessness, completely godlessness. So weapons were invented, and it was never meant for the peace. It was just meant to show the power. So that is why, this demoniac mentality people, it's they always engage in all these destructions, says Lord Krishna. So we should get away from all these cruelties. After having said this, Lord Krishna is going to continue, heavy verses, very, very heavy verses, even now, and different in different shlokas. But let's look at the points quickly. So demoniac attitude, they are lost to themselves. They are completely in Maya. No alpa buddhi, low intelligence, illusion, confused, no intelligence, because they think they are advancing, but they are engaged in the work that is very, very destructive. They engage in all bad things, horrible things that is meant to destroy the world. That is called ugra karma, means very, very painful, very destructive things. काममाश्रित्य दुष्पूरं दम्भमानमदान्विताः मोहात् गृहीत्वा सद्ग्राहान् प्रवर्तन्ते शुचिव्रताः. Yes, please. Sujata Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Taking shelter of insatiable lust and absorbed in the conceit of pride and false prestige, the demoniac illusions are always sworn to unclean words, attracted by the impermanent. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Lord Krishna is really very heavy on these demoniac mentality people, He's coming very heavily upon them. And in these last few verses also, just to make us aware, what this demoniac thought process is, what their activities is. Hey, come on, just understand. So what Lord is telling over here, kamam ashritya dushpuram. Kamam, kama, that is what kama means. We all know demoniac, these demoniac people, what do? They take ashritya, means shelter. What shelter they are taking? Kamam. Kamam dushpuram means the insatiable lust. They are taking the shelter, ashritya. Dambha, moha, mada, anvita. Very, very heavy words Lord Krishna has used over here. They are mada. Mada anvita means absorbed in what? Dambha. Dambha means that conceit or the pride that they have, and mana, that of false prestige. Oh, I have got this society, I've got this status, and moha, their illusion, completely disillusion, and grihitva, they are taking, they are attracted towards what? Asat, asat grahan, all that is that is non-permanent. They are completely attached to that non-permanent asat. Sat means which is there, asat means which is not there. They are completely attracted to that. Pravartante ashuchi vrataha. Pravartante, their tendency. What kind of tendency they have? That's what Lord Krishna is describing over the tendency. Ashuchi, ashuchi vrataha. Again, he had used ashuti. Previously also he used the word ashuchi. They're completely ashuchi. Here also Lord Krishna says ashuchi vrataha, with unclean, impure resolve they have in their mind. They are not at all good. So they are completely having lot of lustful desires. What do they develop because they have lustful desires? Impure heart, impure, unethical, that kind of heart they have, because they have kind lustful desires. Those who are having, they will have impure heart only. So they become completely, they're hypocrites, means double standards, right? One rule for them, one rule for others. And they pretend to be what they are not. That's what they say. Oh, I told you to do it. He may not follow, but he wants others to follow. So they're completely confused. They're misled. Right? Alpa buddhi also, Lord Krishna says. And their wrong ideas, their pride, dambha, moha, all these heavy, heavy words Lord Krishna used. And they believe, they are attracted. All the pleasures of sense objects, they're completely attracted to that. And alcohol, casinos, and relationships, and living relationships. So what happens because of that? Their intellect becomes very dull, very mean, very selfish, very arrogant. In the next step, what happens? They don't want to follow any scriptures. They don't want to follow anything. If we follow, they will scorn at us, and they'll go, oh, andhavishwases. So they're like this only. And they will, become completely oppose everything. They will completely go contrary to whatever, we are doing, whatever is good and proper. So entire culture has gone down, completely gone down to dust. These demoniac people, they are flourishing in this Kali Yuga. The rapes are happening, terrorism is happening, war is happening. Everybody wants to show the power, lustful thing is going on. Those kind of people, they are flourishing, and people are getting, they are destroyed. There is no humility, no tinge of, nothing in knowing. There is no tinge of interest also knowing about anything about Bhagavad Gita, God, Krishna, nothing. But at least we are lucky. We are all sitting together now. We are trying to understand. It's very, very important that, we do our sadhana sincerely, seriously, strongly, strictly, spread the message of Bhagavad Gita, because there are so many, many innocent people. But because everyone, it's just, they're flowing, they're moving towards demoniac way of life. They don't know this innocent public, they're flowing into that, what to do. So when we learn in Bhagavad Gita, we live by it, right? We understand what we are reading. Then what we can do is we can preach them, and we can rescue them, and we can bring them back from this flood of demoniac, activities. That's our responsibility of all the students of Bhagavad Gita. Whoever is reading Bhagavad Gita, it is our responsibility. Whenever we see that, we need to pull them back. So after this, Lord Krishna is still going on, in the same mode. He's talking about demoniac thought process, their activities, and everything. And we'll go through the points and we'll end the class for today. So the points are: they are attracted by impermanent, insatiable lust, they are illusioned, and they are absorbed in the conceit of pride and false prestige. With this, we'll stop over here. Tomorrow we'll continue. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyayavcha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta koti vaishnav ki jai. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you so much for joining.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. I'll end the meeting now.